Hello everyone. This is my presentation for my final project. As I mentioned in class, I've been working on a parallax web page, and I was trying to create something that I can use outside of the classroom, as well as certain things that I've been wanting to do for a while. So one of the things that I've been wanting to do is um, get a little better at sharing photography that I have. And so I decided to use my wedding photography to create a web page that has information on my wedding and things that I can just continue to share no matter when it is. And it's something that won't necessarily have a expiration date on it. So this is the page that I created. And when you first land on the page, it has a header at the top, and then as you scroll through, it uses the parallax design. And right here is like our introductory wedding story. Currently just have placeholder text. In the meantime, I'm going to go back and personalize it once I share it with my family. And then I have here additional images that go through. As you scroll through, there'll be different images that appear. Then I decided to add in some imagery from the things that I created for my wedding, which is our save the dates and our invitations. I was going to probably add in there maybe something for our programs or something later. But so far I like how that looks. And currently trying to compress our wedding video. So in the meantime, I have just a placeholder for the video. So this section here actually does not play, but I wanted to just have a placeholder of how it would look. And this would be like our personal message to our family and friends as they visit our page. And this would be us saying thank you to everyone who attended and even the ones who didn't. Then I also incorporated here a photo gallery. So I have here a slider that uses some JavaScript. And actually, it only uses JavaScript to function. So as it goes through, it has different transitions. And I would definitely add more images in here. Currently, I just stuck with 5 just so I can have an idea of how it would look and how it would transition in between each image. And as you can see, there is an introduction in the very beginning slide. And it just continues throughout the cycle you can either have it play automatically. So right now I have it just playing one cycle automatically, and then you can scroll through. So I like the different transitions that it has in between each image, just to kind of keep it interesting. It did add a footer just to kind of break up the page a little bit more. And so this is my page. And then what I based it off of was actually a Photoshop layout that I created for the page. So this is my Photoshop page design. And one of the things that I had a really hard time doing, and I think it's because of where I have it laid out, is the navigation. So I have the navigation laying on top of the first image of my parallax design right up here. So I wanted something that would use anchor points. So when you clicked on it, it'll scroll you to a specific portion of the page. So if you clicked on the video, it'll automatically scroll you down. So it's only one page. I wanted it to automatically scroll you down to the video so you wouldn't have to scroll through the entire thing. So that was my one issue. I couldn't figure out how to get it position the way that I wanted to and appear the way I wanted to. So that's something that I'll definitely probably go back and adjust. And I may have to add maybe a navigation bar to it, so that way it doesn't have like a weird effect with the parallax. So this is what I based my design off of. And initially I had a different font for the text that overlays over top. I ended up going with the one that I used. I ended up using Google Fonts as well for that. So this is the page design that I based everything off of, and then I went back in and started resizing individual portions of it for the images. And then my photo gallery initially looked like this, and I wanted to have controllers over here, but I like the other one. It just, I like the way the other one came out. I think I may want to go back in and maybe add this white border and drop shadows. But these are drop shadows that I did with a layer in Photoshop. I created them. So it's a little different than using the CSS for that type of drop shadow. And my code that I used, so I have a couple of different things going on. This is my HTML file here, and it's just basic HTML that uses a couple of things. Down here is where the slider is the initial script for the slider, and then I have a couple of different things going on with the CSS. So there's 3 different CSS files that I have for the style of the page, and this is the parallax modules that I'm using, and this is another page that I used for the CSS, the containers, and how I wanted some of the page to look. And then for the slider, because I found the JavaScript, I ended up kind of taking some of that code and reformatting it a little bit so that it appeared the way that I wanted it to. And then this is some of the code that was included that's down here, this stuff down here. Some of that stuff I don't understand exactly what it's doing. So I just kind of left it alone because it was a lot going on. And as I was messing around with it, some of the functionality wasn't working. So I took out a lot of stuff that didn't pertain to what I was doing, but it still looks very different than some of the stuff just didn't make sense. So that's basically my presentation, and back to my webpage. I really like the way that it came out. I really had a lot of struggles trying to get it to appear a specific way, trying to get the divs to work the way that I wanted them to. This little image right here, it's actually a transparent PNG, and it was a headache trying to get it to position itself exactly where I wanted it to. So that was another thing, and getting the Google fonts to appear the sizes that I wanted it to. So I kept going back and forth, playing around with sizing and positioning and spacing as well as this one, getting the drop shadow and the transparency the way that I wanted it to look, and the placement of some of my images of and placeholders, like my video placeholder. And then actually, surprisingly, my slider, even though it was tedious, it wasn't as difficult as some of the other aspects of the page. So like my webpage says, thank you for coming. Thank you for listening. Had a great experience during this class. Thank you.